So if you want really to become successful, then you're going to have to begin to invest your energy in yourself and in your future. And you're going to have to find something where you love what you do.
I'm your host, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Let's begin.
It's important for us to begin to look at some of the reasons why people choose their familiar states instead of choosing their dreams or choosing their abundance. And the best way that I can say you arriving at your abundant future is that you have to make a series of consistent choices in choosing yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? You may say, I want to become abundant. Hey, I have this great dream. I'm going to create this new app. I'm going to create this new program for children. Hey, I have this new business model I want to present. Hey, I'm partnering with this person to create a new online program for somebody. Hey, I have this great invention and I need to bring it to life. And then the question I'm going to have for most people is, what do you want more? Do you want that future more than your fatigue, more than your need to sleep, more than your emotional reactions and your stress, more than your texting, more than the phone calls to the same people where you talk about the same things that take up a lot of your time and reaffirm certain emotions? Do you want it more than video gaming or watching television? Do you want it more than your habits or the things you feel like you need to do? Do you want it more than your complaining, more than your schedules, more than your social engagements, more than the people you need to see? Because what you're really doing when you settle for your fatigue and you say, I don't feel like putting my effort into reviewing my vision, reviewing the choices I'm going to make, reviewing the behaviors or things I need to do these things, and you actually do them. When you stop that process, what you're really saying to the universe is you're saying, what I really want is I want my body. I want the needs of my body more than my vision. I'm more emotionally attached to the experiences in my environment that produce the familiar emotions that reaffirm my old self. And of course, I'm more committed to my predictable future and my familiar past. And my time that I'm giving to my future is limited. I have too many things that I need to do with my schedule that stand in the way between my success or my abundance. And people then give up their vision. So then what you're really saying when you do this is you want your vision more than any of those things. And people who demonstrate abundance say, okay, I'm tired, but I'm going to do my meditation anyway. Okay, I'm fatigued, I had a rough emotional day, but I got to write down how I reacted in certain situations, and I got to think about how I'm going to do this better. Yeah, I have to make this particular business plan, or I got to put this strategic thing in place, or I have to write this blog, yeah, and it's going to take me some time. Well, listen, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed early, but I'm going to get up 2 hours early or an hour and a half early, and I'm going to discipline myself to do this because I want to become an expert in what I'm presenting. So then that requires putting your dream or your abundance above everything else. It's important for you to understand when you're first starting out in this whole process, it's so important to just begin somewhere. Don't overthink it, don't overanalyze it, don't become overstressed about it. Just begin. The research shows that when you begin to do something like you start working out, as an example, or you start making better choices in the food that you eat, or you start changing an aspect or a habit about yourself, the moment you start doing that, you're more prone to make other choices consistent and relevant to that very choice that you're making. So as you start somewhere, it begins to influence you in other areas of your life because you become conscious that you want to begin to make this journey. So then, if you see your day as an adventure and you have more value for your your dream than you have for any of those things that people use as excuses that cause them to shrink back into mediocrity, then what are the qualities? They have a passion. They have drive. They have a meaning to what they're doing. They have strong values. They value themselves. They value their relationships. Their meaning behind doing this is to send their children to college without having them pay for student loans. Their meaning is that they want to buy a house where they can invite their friends for vacation twice a year. They have a value of a meaning of sharing it with other people. They have a belief in themselves. They have a belief in that vision, and they nurture it with their attention every day. They nurture it with their passion. They nurture it with their energy. They have a commitment and to take risks and take chances, and they're very possessed by what their vision is, and they trust that it will begin to unfold in unpredictable ways. So if you want really to become successful, then you're going to have to begin to invest your energy in yourself and in your future. And you're going to have to find something where you love what you do. Because if you don't love what you do, then your heart isn't in it. And if your heart isn't in it and you can't lead with your heart, then of course then you're not going to have a passion or a meaning behind what you're doing. Of course then, when you begin to embody this or begin to engage it, you're going to have to start to say no a lot more. And no, in my world, is a complete sentence. That's it. When you say no, that means I am choosing something other than what you're presenting to me. And no can be done in a very loving way. You can put a hand on someone's shoulder. You can look them in the eye and you say, no, not today. Not today. I have other things I need to do. No, not today. I'm sorry, I can't be there. Hey, no, I'm not going to go to the meet and greet or the happy hour. No, I'm going to take time for myself. That is honorable to yourself. That's saying your sacrifice that you're making isn't so much a sacrifice of something that you really want. What you really want is your vision. So it's not that you're going to hurt somebody, but whatever you're doing is you're putting your dream ahead of other things. And it doesn't mean that you're going to lose that relationship, because if you feel like you're going to lose that relationship, then you're back to scarcity mentality again. That then allows you to focus your attention on what is going to make you great instead of what's going to make you average or fall into common ways. And some people will say, you're being selfish, or you're putting yourself above everybody else. And in certain situations, I think there's a balance between taking care of yourself so that you can take care of others as well. As you begin this process in loving what you're doing, you begin to naturally think about how you're going to step into your life. And that aspect of beginning to think about and putting yourself into the equation is what I want to talk about more than anything else, because it's going to require every single day, as you overcome your body with fatigue or emotions or habits, as you overcome the conditions in your environment with your social engagements or the things you need to do, or watching television or getting on the computer or video gaming or seeing certain people and going to certain places and all of that, and overcoming the schedules that we think are so important. By you overcoming those aspects every single day, that means then the overcoming process is causing you over time to step into becoming exactly what you want. So then when you start becoming that person, you begin to see that your dream of wealth begins to start to manifest, or begins to start to unfold. And how does it unfold? It unfolds in ways that you may not anticipate. We call that a synchronicity. It starts, you start getting small feedback in your life, like, oh my God, you got a phone call and there's an opportunity for you to take this course, or someone hands you a book, or all of a sudden things start to happen for you, or you're invited into a circle where other people are interested in the same exact things as you are. And so then I want to talk, in closing this whole thing, with what I call taking the abundance challenge. And I want to put it all together for you because I know certain people won't do this, and I know certain people will actually do it. And not to say this is the only way, but I think it's a way to get people from one state of mind to another state of mind. So then I'm going to ask all of you to fill your brain with knowledge and to read a book on abundance. I don't care if it's a person who has tips on becoming abundant, or if it's a person that started out in their life with nothing, and then over time they became extremely successful, and then of course created charities and organizations to help the world. But if you read that book, I'm going to ask you then, every time you come to a quality or a characteristic or a mannerism of a person that began to develop the qualities of success and abundance, I'm going to ask you to write them down, because you have to know that there's a certain level of persistence, a certain level of determination, a certain level of drive, a certain level of application, reapplication, learning from their mistakes, letting go of things they lost. The letting go process is so essential, because when things begin to fall apart in your life, it's not the end. It just means something else is going to reorganize. List the emotions of gratitude that they felt every day. List the emotions of thankfulness and care and kindness, a respect for all of life, a lovingness of the way they nurtured the people and the people that supported them. Look at the way they think or the way they thought. Look at what things they did tell themselves. What was the sub-vocalizations or the self-talk that they had on a regular basis? And if you can begin to just list those thoughts, those actions, and those emotions, something natural will happen. And that natural propensity, as you begin to become familiar with these qualities, you're going to naturally begin to put yourself into the equation. You're going to naturally begin to rehearse that you could actually do that. You're going to begin to pretend in your mind and begin to plan your actions and behaviors, and all of a sudden, that act of doing that is going to begin to prime your brain and body towards that outcome. By the same means, I watched trainers yesterday say, "I can't," so many times. That word, "I can't," is the exact thing, the only thought that stops the person in reaching their specific desires. So what? I can't, it's too hard, I'll never change, abundance will never happen to me, it didn't work last time, I don't want to get up early, I'm too tired, I don't know how to do this, it's someone else's fault. Those are thoughts that you have to prune away out of the garden of your mind. Those are weeds that are growing, that are blocking your wealth.